recently watched Squid Game, the Netflix series, which is in a different language. I did start watching it with like a dubbing thing going on, and it was fucking stupid. It was really stupid. Like the mouths were moving, but it was just not lining up at all. So I removed the dubbing and added subtitles as the option instead. And do you know what? It worked much better. I had to read the film, but I'm a big boy. I can read. So Squid Game, man. Really, it's just like a blend of Maze Runner, Battle Royale, just one of those things. I mean, it's going to happen, isn't it? Whenever you have a group of people that are plunged into a situation where it's a group of them and they've got to get away from somewhere, it's always going to get compared to another film where people are put in a fucking group and have got to get away or go somewhere. Squid Game, then. There's just so much to try and talk about here, so I'll just try and sum it all up pretty quick. So what you got is you got a bunch of people that are having a really shit life, alright? Either their fucking family's dead, they got no money, they're stinking criminals, they got people after them, but the main thing is they all want that green cash, they all want the money, yeah. So an opportunity arises where they can take part in a series of games on a mysterious island after they've been kidnapped and gassed and shit like that, where if they win these games, they get some crazy amount of money. Now, there's like a bunch of people all put into a room with bunk beds, which is cool. The bunk beds were fucking amazing. I kept looking at them trying to work out how they actually worked. They had these great big ladders and the bunk beds, there was fucking loads of them stacked up. Brilliant. So cool. I mean, the bunk beds were the main thing that really stuck out for me as probably the most intriguing aspect of the film. I love bunk beds. I had a bunk bed when I was a kid and I was on top bunk and my brother was on bottom bunk and we just had the best times. I used to be able to fucking pull the mattress back and fucking give my brother a little fucking slap on the head. Wake up! What are you doing down there? Like that. And he's like, what are you doing to me? Why? And that's the good thing about bunk beds. So can you imagine the fun you'd have? Like the fucking loads of bunk beds. You'd all be fucking smacking each other's heads. Loads of you just smacking each other's heads about. But anyway, none of that happened. There was a bit later on where everyone just started fucking stabbing each other and things like that. And I never stabbed my brother. There was never a time where I sort of just peeled back the mattress and saw my brother sleeping there and I was like, oh fucking wake up, stab his head and stuff. Never crossed my mind. Anyway, so you got these people, they've had a shit life. They're now got their amazing bunk bed. I need to get away from the bunk beds. Fucking great though. So they basically end up playing a series of childlike games. And the first game is this red light, green light. And if you've got Netflix, you've probably seen like there's a picture, it's like a robot girl and all people behind her. And it starts off as a bit of fun. Everyone's like, oh, cool, we're being gassed and like fucking bunk beds. And they're all like standing now, playing red light, green light, and they're ready to move. And they're told, look, if you're spotted, you're out of the game. So they're like, oh, okay, cool, we'll play this silly game. And they start moving, and one of them sort of judders a little bit when the robot girl turns around and fucking machine gun just shot the fucking head. He's bloody wiped out, and then loads of people are killed, and there's blood going all over the place, and everyone's like, shit. We've got ourselves into a right sticky situation here, and before you know it, most of them are fucking machine gunned to death, and everyone that gets past the robot girl are like, Jesus Christ, phew, we've made it. After that, they all get this little option. If they want, they can leave the game, and they all take that option. They're all like, fuck this, we ain't playing this game anymore, I want to go back to my real life. And then they all go back to their real life, and they realise, you know what, it's actually better to be in an environment where I could just get machine gunned or killed playing a fucking game than it is in the real world. And do you know what? Sometimes I think that as well, because the real world, Jesus Christ. Like, where am I going to get the fucking bunk beds? Those bunk beds, like, serious. I don't think my wife would let me get bunk beds that big. I'd actually need to find a warehouse. I can get a warehouse. Anyway, they all end up going back to this situation where they've got to play games to survive and win this ridiculous amount of money. It's all the money's just dropping into this big transparent peg thing that's hanging above them. And as the money comes in, they're all looking at it, and you can see like all saliva coming out of their mouths. They're like, "Oh, I want the fucking money. Give me the money. Just want that fucking green cash. I just want to eat it," and you know. And that is sort of enticing them to play these games. So the next game, then, they've got honeycombs with little shapes on them, like an umbrella or a star or a fucking like a squid, and then someone's got infinity, not the infinity symbol, they've actually got a cut out infinity, and they're like, oh, fucking machine guns, killed. And what they've got to do is just cut the shape out of the honeycomb whatever way they want. One guy just starts licking it, another one he's fucking pushing it up his asshole, he's like, he immediately gets shot. They're like, Jesus, what's the matter with you? There's another guy who just eats it, he just gets shot in the fucking neck. Another one, he's turning around screaming, "Oh no, if you see my honeycomb," it's just lodged in his eye. He's like, "Oh," he just gets shot in the face as well. But yeah, a few of them managed to get out of this little game. They managed to win. There's a game where they're all on space hoppers, and they've just got like a line that they've got to get to within 25 seconds, but the space hoppers have got all pins on the top, so as they bounce, the pins just sticking into their buttocks, and if they scream, they just get shot. So as you can imagine, you know, they're all sweating. This episode, I think it was episode 15, goes on for about an hour and a half on space hoppers. Fucking pins stuck in their ass and stuff, and they're like bouncing away, but then they realise they're not on space hoppers, they're actually on the previous people's backs that got killed, that have been stitched together and filled with air, and they're like, "Oh god, this was my friend, this was my friend," but because they're screaming, "That was my friend," they're shot to fucking pieces, they're killed. What was the other game? Yeah, they had this one where there was a glass bridge, but every single pane of glass was broken, so as they're jumping, they literally just jump into their death. And they would basically, if they listened to the instructions, it was, you can either go across this bridge or you can come in here and have a slap at dinner. And a few of the people are like, "Oh yeah, cool, slap at dinner," but some of them are like, "Glass bridge, okay," and just dead. They're just dead straight away. Spoiler alert, there's this little old guy all the way through the film, and he's having the greatest time. Turns out he was the big bad. And in the end, he's laying in a bed, like, "Oh, I like playing the games. Oh, the games are so good." But he's looking like he's not even in a fucking bunk bed. He's got all that money. He could be in one of those bunk beds that he set up. He's just in a normal bed. And he's just like, "Oh, I like the games. Oh, the games." And then the TV series, like, just ends there. So a bit of a cliffhanger. I recommend Squid Game to anyone out there who enjoys bunk beds predominantly. There's a few nice like head smashes, so you see some brains coming out of people and stuff. You've got an old man in a bed at the end. Episode 6 is famous because it'll just make you cry. I was watching it like this. I fucking tore my shirt off, just put oil all over me, just sat there just flexing watching it, because I was like, I'm not going to cry. I am not going to cry. And the intro credits, I was just bawling my eyes out. Nothing had even happened. I just started crying. I'm fucking welling up now. I need to forget about it and the bunk beds. What I will say is, if I was giving this a review right now, which is exactly why I'm making this video, I would give it probably a 9 out of 10, which is pretty high for me. Could go 7, but 9 out of 10 on this one.